Hmm.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Uh, huh. My watch has the wrong time.
Are you on French time?
Um, no, I don't understand. It's 10:05. I was just sitting here talking with Cynthia and looked at my watch and it was 10:03. I said, "Oh, it's actually not even 10 o'clock yet." So, oh
Well,
Lord.
I'm impressed that you're up.
Well, yeah, I got 7 or close to 8 hours last night. So.
Oh, good.
Um, I'm feeling sort of okay.
Good.
So
Did you have a good trip?
it was a good trip. It was hard in several ways. There were two travel days that involved 5 to 6 hours on the bus each. Um, and toward the end of, I'm getting heavy duty feedback here.
Huh.
Do you hear that? I have a sound. Anyway, the tail end of the trip up in Normandy, with the beaches and everything, oh, there was just a lot. So, our days throughout the trip, I woke up probably an average of 6:30, maybe even before that. And then it was, out of the hotel by 8 o'clock and back to the hotel or to another one between 5 and 6 the next day. So just a grind.
Yeah.
But um, both of us we were just talking, impressed about the beauty of France. It
Mm.
really is.
Oh,
We we went from the bottom central portion up toward Brittany and then over toward Normandy. So up through the whole uh, height of the country, which is the biggest in Europe. I didn't realize that.
really? I didn't either.
Yeah. Um, and there was just lots of pretty scenery, and the huge middle portion of the country is all farmland, huge farms,
Hmm.
where you can't even see a farmhouse. It's
Wow.
um, sort of like our Midwest.
Yep.
In any case, it was a good trip. Yes.
Good.
So I, as far as Tai Chi is concerned, I got very little practice in.
It doesn't
So
sound like you had time.
no, we didn't. We just sort of fell into bed at night and rolled out the next morning and kept
Yeah.
going. So I that's one of the reasons I wanted to get something done this morning, just to jumpstart me.
Just to say hi.
Well,
I know. I
I feel
understand.
bad about it, but there was nothing.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah, that was a situation that didn't offer much
yeah.
opportunity.
So,
So, well, good. Well, uh, somewhere along the way, I'd love to see some pictures.
oh yes, I did take three or four.
3 or 4 thousand.
Maybe two. I don't know. There are a lot of them. I was paging through them on the phone, sorting out some of the obviously bad ones.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of pictures. So yes, I will. I always do a photo book, so
Oh,
I can bring that some Tuesday and
yeah.
leaf through it a bit.
That'd be nice. I've never been to France.
We had been to Paris. I've been to Paris twice with side trips to Versailles and Monet's place, Giverny. And ages ago, when I was a kid, and did a strange European tour. We drove we drove all over England and then we passed down through France. We were supposed to have a friend in Paris. The friend was gone, so we had to fend for ourselves. And the next friend was supposed to be in Madrid, so we drove straight through France, mostly at night. But it wasn't an experience of any worth, really. But yeah, I mean, there are other portions of the country, of course, that we didn't see, but this was a surprise. I didn't have any specific expectation, but
Uh-huh.
I didn't expect it to be that beautiful and that farmlandish. Yeah,
Yeah, that's interesting.
yeah. Hours and I would say a straight drive through maybe 6 or 7 hours through the farmland.
Wow.
Really, that's impressive. So, anyway, we saw our share of castles and cathedrals, and
Yeah. Well, good. Good. Well, I'm glad you're home safe.
yes, and I'm just glad we're home because we left Paris. We were flying Lufthansa, and they flew us to Frankfurt first before the leg to Boston, and they were late. Somebody didn't show up on the first flight, but their bags did, so they had to get the bags out of the hold, for security reasons.
Ah,
We were late getting to Frankfurt, and then there were long lines in passport control, and we ran through good chunk of the airport, and we got to the gate 1 minute before it was due to take off, but they were still just beginning to load, so they were late again, fortunately for us.
ah,
But as we were running, we were saying, "Oh, what does Lufthansa do if you miss your flight?"
yeah. Uh, wow.
So,
The joys of travel.
yeah,
Did you find a- any negative
no,
response to your being an American?
no,
Uh,
no. Um, Indeed, I think everybody that we talked to, even if it was just two phrases back and forth, were friendly, and um, Europeans know immediately. I'm not sure exactly how they do it, but they know that we're American. Yeah,
mhm.
I mean, the flight attendants on the plane walk down and they speak German to one person and look over at me and start in English. So
Wow.
um, it, it's obvious. So
Yeah.
what I'm saying is they knew we were American, and they were very pleasant. Nobody. The guide was a British woman who's been living in France and Italy all her life. I'm thinking she was about 50. But she threw out a few little zingers about our situation, but nobody else talked politics. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we didn't actually talk politics amongst ourselves. There were 16 of us on the trip. So,
Cool. Well,
but
that's
no, people were very, and that's been my experience everywhere in the world. When matters were even worse than they are now. Yeah.
Mhm.
Uh, People separate the government from uh, the people, as long as the people behave.
You have to do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. I was just curious.
Yep. No, there was. I can't think of a single instance of any bad behavior.
Oh, good.
And the French, of course, are notoriously rude. So we were expecting that and didn't find it. Yeah.
So maybe they aren't really rude.
Maybe they are. Certainly, the people outside of Paris are very nice. I think the French, as is true in many big cities, the Parisians are a little crusty.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for the filling in.
Yeah, yeah. Wow.
Yes. Happy to see you. So, I really, my intention here was to kind of leave this open and do whatever would be best to help you re-enter.
Yes, that's fair enough. Certainly. As I said, I just wanted to do something, with you, just to restart the engine. And I'm not sure what my body is going to feel like, honestly. I mean, I'm moving around okay, but
Yep. So, any particular thoughts or questions other than that?
uh, no, not really. The last time I did, certainly most of the week after I saw you last, I practiced, and no questions popped up.
Okay. Um, in God's, we progress to opening and closing the shoulders.
Yes, I didn't get a chance to look at it, but I saw the title of it. So
Yeah. So actually, there were a couple of sessions while you were gone. The first one was just kind of an introduction,
hmm
and I will actually send that introduction as notes for today. Also, but I really was. Um, we can progress into the shoulders, whatever amount might seem appropriate, but I thought maybe first we should just kind of go through what we worked on and
Okay,
see where we are.
okay.
Um, so maybe begin with eight gates and remembering that I think before you left we had worked on opening the elbow through the fingertips.
Yes, yeah.
Um, so hopefully continuing that. Um, and I will flow with you today just to
Okay.
get things started, and then we can look at the form or whatever.
Yeah. I think the shoulder, particularly since I've always had shoulder problems, that interests me certainly. I mean, obviously, we're going to do it sooner or later, so.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. It's an important area. I'm stepping out. I'm coming into your basic structure. I'm just taking a moment of standing. Feel your connection to the earth and to the heavens. And breathe. You're breathing down into the dantian, keeping the chest relaxed. Breathing into the sides. Clear up to your armpits if you can. And adding the lower back. And the kidneys and mid-back. And as you're breathing, beginning to be aware of the arms opening and closing. Not necessarily any movement, but there may be a slight movement. And beginning on a closing. And an opening, and a closing, and an opening. And closing as you go into the transition, and opening, and closing. And to feel that energy moving in through the fingers, palms, wrists, and elbow, and out. And closing and opening and closing and opening. closing, opening to the heart, and closing and open. And closing and opening and closing, opening, closing, opening. And closing and open. Closing and open. And closing and opening and closing and opening. And feeling whatever change there might be as a result of that. So how was that?
That was good. I felt more coordinated than I thought I might feel.
Good.
As far as the energy movement, hands and wrists, fingers, elbows were late to the game. They didn't feel bound up in any way. They felt kind of open, but I wasn't getting much sense of opening, closing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there didn't seem to be any blockages or anything of that sort. So,
So it may very well be um, flowing perfectly well through your elbows. Um, although you do want to have an awareness of it that's very clear eventually.
yeah.
Not maybe or
No, I understand what you're saying because I do have that in the wrist and hands.
yep.
Not as much as I hope it will be, but it's clear
Yeah.
when it's when I'm experiencing it.
Well, as we work through the body, of course, that's one of the things is that um, when we're just doing hands and fingers and wrists and elbows and even shoulder, um, that can certainly increase the flow and increase our awareness of it. But also, as we begin to add the rest of the body into this so that it becomes a whole body experience, it makes a big difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean I can feel that coming. It's
Uh-huh. Good.
it's still early stages, but compared to before, yes, I feel my most of my body being involved, and sometimes kind of all of it for a bit, it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't
Good.
necessarily stay there, but yeah, I have a sense of what that must mean now as opposed to last year. So,
Good. Yeah, no, that's very appropriate. So
in some way,
I'm sorry?
part of me wants to be embarrassed because it took me so long to get there. But
Oh, no, not at all.
yeah,
We haven't really introduced opening and closing. I mean, in a typical long training, we would have introduced opening and closing a long time ago.
mm,
But because we haven't had the privilege to do that, we're now bringing it in because it eventually becomes kind of an essential thing to be aware of. So um, you're doing just fine. Don't
yeah,
don't
uh,
don't be embarrassed or beat yourself up.
no, that's my tendency, but I'm, getting over it.
Good.
I was just, reflecting back, I mean, all the way to when I started with you, and certainly through the Yang form, and et cetera, et cetera. If I had had the sense of whole body involvement and movement, back then, it would have been such a different experience, I think.
Yeah.
But you can't have it all at the beginning. I
Nope.
understand that.
Nope. No. I think I probably told you this, but with my first teacher, there was a point after about 3 years when he had each of his students in this particular class flow through the form that we were working on, and I got done feeling that I'd done pretty well, and he said to me, "Well, you obviously know what you want each posture to be or to end up," but he said you don't have still any sense of whole body movement.
Yeah.
And that was after 3 years and I practiced pretty assiduously during that time. And as I know I've told you, there was the first weekend I went to the Tai Chi farm and worked with Master Joe, and somehow in that time he communicated to me what that meant, what whole body movement meant. And I was doing it by the time I left, and immediately my form changed. So, but that was 3 years, you know. I and I didn't, and it wasn't because I didn't practice, because I did practice. So,
Well, I will say that all along, I don't spend much time looking at videos of
uh huh,
doing this and that, but when I do, I can see the whole body movement.
yeah,
I mean, I can sense that.
yeah,
Um, Getting it into my body is another story, but
yeah. So, as I said, I'm not going to go any further with, I think, with opening and closing today, unless you
okay.
have an urgent need or a question.
No, no.
Okay, so in our form, did you have any particular questions in there, or
Uh, no, and frankly, I haven't done the form in a week and a half.
yeah?
You know,
Well, so why don't you do the form and
okay,
discover it again?
okay.
And don't worry about being perfect.
Yep.
I thought that was quite good for no practice for a week and a half.
So did I was thinking as it was happening, my goodness. um, Maybe the progress that I have been making is, I know when I've had to take time off in the past, it's been a relearning kind of thing.
Hmm.
But this felt like jumping on the saddle again.
Yeah, that's what it looked like to me too.
Um, on just a minor question.
Sure.
Just before single whip, over here and here, does it move to the right before going up into single whip, or is it from here directly into single whip? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. Let me just go through it. Maybe the easiest way to. Um, because it is different at the beginning slightly than it is after wave hands too.
Okay. Yes.
But the difference is at the beginning of it, not in the area that you're talking about. So when you're here and you've finished follow and focus, there's this step and you're twisting and bending in and then out, and this out is entirely to 100% on the right foot, so that as you round that corner, that's what causes the step. But that's also where you're coming in. You're closing, actually, at that point. And then as you continue to rotate and move on to the left, you open.
Okay.
So once you go to the right, you go clear to 100%.
Well, I haven't been.
Yeah. So
That's clear, and that takes care of my question, actually.
yeah. This is one of those places where you you get to here, and the closing and opening are both happening during the same movement,
Yeah.
same body movement. So that isn't always the case, but obviously happens more than once.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah. That explains. Yeah.
Any other spots that you?
I'm sure there are. That one, when I got over to the right, I realized that I didn't have a definite plan.
Yeah. Okay.
um, so
So,
I didn't know whether what obviously has happened is that I've stopped the movement
yeah.
and then gone into single whip instead of continuing and turning the corner and coming back. Yeah.
Yeah, which may help. In single whip, you have a tendency as you come back to get almost there, and then sort of move the arms out independently. And I think that finding that will help you to put it all together
Yeah.
so that the body is moving the arms.
Yeah.
That's also, I was also going to say another place where you might think about not letting the arms move as much is both in Subdued Tiger and Gargoyles. Those two
Okay.
our tendency, particularly in Gargoyles, is to throw the arms around, but actually it's the body that's moving around, not the arms. They're staying in front of the body.
Yeah.
So, and they don't have to drop quite so much.
Okay.
So you might, think about that. And one of the good things about opening a thing, really getting into opening and closing, is that it really helps you define and recognize the movement that you want to do, because that's what's happening in Subdued Tiger. It's coming in and then out a little. It's not a lot because of the position of the arms, but they don't stay the same distance from the body all the way through the posture. And this is true pretty much of every posture. So that, in a way, is going back to bend and extend, but now we're expanding that to open and close. So, or close and open. So, kind of thinking about that, although I'm not suggesting that you should be really trying to open and close the form yet.
No, I understand it.
Yeah. So, I kind of feel like that's about as much as we ought to try to do today.
Yep, I agree.
You give you some time to practice and this week, and we can progress next week.
Okay.
Also, I might mention the week after that, which would be the 16th, I think, I will not be doing class.
Right.
The week of the 15th, our boy Zach is going to be here, and we have plans to do some things that I'm just taking the week off.
Good. Well, I just disappeared to France for 2 weeks, so.
Yeah. And Jeff won't be here next week
Right.
either. He's in in Los Angeles,
Yeah.
and I hope he's having a good time.
Yeah.
He doesn't often get a break, so
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know much about Jeff, but it seemed like his schedule is pretty well bespoke.
yeah, he. Let me stop the. Let me stop. Let me stop the recording, and I'll